Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Activity Call Live. Now, let's hear it for our special guest host, Andy Riddle.
As long as it wasn't me making that noise, Terry, I'm good, because I wouldn't have known how to fix it. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Activity Call. Thank you, Andy and Jane Albright, for trusting us with the call today. And we're super fired up to talk to you guys and get to share some of the stuff we got going on and what we're doing inside our businesses and doing some crazy things. I don't know about you guys, if you guys have been checking it out, but Andy is traveling around the country. He is going all over the place. He's been in 4 different cities, I think, already this week. He was in Fort Myers, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, and Philadelphia yesterday, those 2 cities, and the 2 before. Today, though, he's going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana, and Little Rock, Arkansas. So if you have anyone in any kind of radius of those cities, I would try to get them there. I was with Andy in Orlando on Wednesday, and it was unbelievable in the stuff that they're going over. He has Spencer and Brandon with him, and just the training and Hannah, the stuff they're really helping you move forward and showing what to do. It's the winning aspects of this business and just getting around him and looking at the schedule he has going on. He's also going to be in Columbus, Georgia on Saturday. So if you have someone near Columbus, Georgia, definitely make sure you're looking on the ARC. There's a bunch of other meetings as well. I know Adam Katz is going to be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where I went to college, so it's always good to go back to Fayetteville. And then Gina's going to be in Charlotte. Just leaders all over the country, traveling all over the country. They're all listed out on the ARC. Make sure you get on the ARC and check that out as well. So, and we're in the month of May, guys. So we are in May, and you know what May is. May is double points for Great Western. So we are not even halfway through the month, and you have over half a month to really take advantage of getting double trip points to your trip to New Zealand and qualifying for New Zealand by writing more and more Great Western this month. So make sure you're looking at Great Western, making sure you're using it as a final expense product, because you'll get double points for it and really really help push you towards that qualifying for that awesome trip that the Alliance is giving us to New Zealand for next year. So get qualified. Make sure you take advantage of the gracious double points that we have with Great Western and go out there and get it. And then too, kind of want to use this to lead into what we got going on, because we're talking about winning and kind of the winning environment that we're doing as a team. But at part of President's Club, they've really elevated the aspects to help you grow your business and the things that they're offering. And they have a great deal with running ads to help you hire people and find more agents with ZipRecruiter. So get with Clay and his team on how to get some of them. It's something that, like, I know some of the stuff I'm going to talk on today, and I think some of my guys are going to talk on it. But I was talking to Clay earlier this week on the number of things, because we know to get to the goals and the winning stuff that we're trying to do inside of our team, we need to increase the number of agents that we have writing business and having coming in. And just off the ZipRecruiter ads that Clay started about a month and a half ago, we have an extra. This is on top of what we are already doing before the ZipRecruiter came out through our organization. We have an additional 115 ads currently running across the country to help us build and build that environment. So get with Clay. It's an unbelievable deal. It's actually cheaper than running a Craigslist ad, which is crazy. And it'll help you go out there and just help you find more talented people in the stuff that we do. Because honestly, if you watch any kind of what's going on in the world today and the economy today, we're in a little bit of downward trend, but these downward trends are where you really create separation inside of your business. A lot of people will, when they start feeling things changing in the economy or different things happen, they tighten up, they're in protective mode. But this is the time to really go after it and expand and go after the growth of your business. because it's where you really create that dominating or that separating in your business from other businesses, because a lot of businesses are trying to just hold on and they actually are shrinking. But if you get aggressive and go after it, you'll actually dominate the market and you'll actually create a huge separation between things. And that's really what our game plan is. What we're doing is trying to create that separation in the aspects that we're trying to dominate in this season, because when everything's good, it's easy, everyone wins. You know what I mean? And it's hard to create separation there. But when things are bad, that's where the separation happens. And that's why we're getting aggressive with those ZipRecruiter ads through President's Club, and continue to grow through there. But so we just want to talk about some winning things and strategies we have. We have big goals this year. Our goal is to hit 2 million in issue paid premium by the month of October of this year. This month we're going for $1 million of issue paid premium. I want to talk a little bit, and I got some of my guys on here that are really fighting and helping to create that too. We have more of them. We just couldn't put them all on the call. We just got 3 today, but a lot of the guys going out there and doing that. But really where it came from is I read somewhere that leaders lead people that have dreams. And to be a leader, you have to help people that have dreams to accomplish something to where they actually become reality. So leaders help people to achieve those things. And so I'm thinking, like, how can I help my guys do this? And how can we really move forward? And I was looking at aspects of what we could do to help people move forward. And people that change companies in history or change different things have the focus during good times and bad times, and they try to create things, but they're always seeing that bigger future and the bigger thing. So I have that $2 million a month dream in front of me all the time. It's actually the screensaver on my phone. It's just stuff that I see. It's always in front of me, so I don't forget what we're actually going towards and going to do. But epic achievement is what we're going for. We want to change the trajectory of what we're doing and the Alliance is doing, and ultimately just change the thoughts of like what can be accomplished. And hitting 2 million will be epic, because it's like the trajectory of it's basically 4xing from where we were last October. And doing things, and we've already 2x since then. So we're on pace to do so, but it's not going to be the same work. We all know we're going to have to work harder. We're going to invest more. We're going to have to get more agents. We're going to have to do more things, and it's just getting started in the aspects of what we're doing to make those changes. But I tell you, as you go through and you make decisions like that, and you make decisions to change the world or change the trajectory of your business, it is a huge achievement, and it is huge sacrifices, and it is things to really make sure that you're going to do it. But not making that decision to do something like that in your business is making the decision to stay average. So you say, I don't know if I want to commit to that. That's fine, but you're making the choice to stay average. And I have a bunch of guys on this call that really just don't want to stay average, and they don't want to see their team stay average. They want to go out there and help change the trajectory of their team's lives and help them achieve what they're looking for in their dreams, but they also want to change theirs too. And so these 3 guys I got today are really just leading the vision to help people achieve their dreams and really move forward to do so. So I'm super honored to that Andy and Jane asked us to get on this call. I think we're doing a lot of great things, and these guys are too. So I'm going to kick it off with my first guy, my buddy Shawn Mayo down there in Sarasota. What's up, Shawn?
Hey, Andy, how are you?
I'm great, man. I got to see your fiance in Orlando this week, and I know you were down at Fort Myers with Andy, kind of dividing and conquering. I love that aspect of kind of both of you hitting different spots, and you guys had people in both cities. So it's kind of cool watching what you guys are doing, but you guys are really just taking off. I know Jason and Olga and Marnie are super proud of what you're doing and how you guys are going out there. And one thing I really like about Shawn and Taylor is they're one of the ones that a lot of times in this business, it's hard to find people that like grab leadership. Like, can I do more? Can I do this? Can I do this? And Shawn and Taylor, they don't have the answers to everything. They're going to make mistakes, so there's going to be bumps in the roads, but that's kind of the fun part of the business, because you're helping them through that stuff. But I would say, Shawn, it's kind of rare to see someone just want to take on leadership roles and say, can I do this? Can I have more leadership? Can I do it? And that's what leaders do. Leaders step up and they take leadership and stuff. They don't wait for it to be handed to them and stuff. So I'm super proud of watching what you and Taylor are doing in the aspects of building what you're doing, taking leadership roles, trying to take over more aspects. And could you share a little bit about the winning the winning attitude kind of that you and Taylor are doing. Cause like I was telling someone the other day, I was like, everywhere I go around, everyone's like, what's Shawn and Taylor doing? And like, you're making people mad because you're just growing. And outside of Marnie and Jason, I mean, they're super fired up that you're growing, but I mean, the other, the other people get mad, but it's one of those fun things that you guys are out there kicking butt, just working hard, making mistakes, doing some stuff right, doing some stuff wrong, but just having that momentum and the stuff, Duke. If you could just talk a little bit about what you guys are kind of doing to have that winning attitude and grow that winning attitude inside of your team.
Yes, sir. So first of all, thanks for having us, for me on here. Huge honor. And thanks honestly for, Andy and Jane for starting this, because I had no idea how to win, or just like get ahead, and just getting a shot is awesome. But the winning mindset, it's like, I'm trying to get to the point where like, you have like Terry Edwards, Brian, bunch of other people. You guys are giants to me. You know what I mean? It's difficult to follow in your footsteps, and I'm just trying to make the leaps and bounds and try and skip some of those steps that you guys are taking. I'm trying to catch up because I want to be not just around you, but I want to be a part of you guys. I want to be in the inner circle. So I run around and I'm trying to be there where you are, and just like I tell Taylor all the time, I'm like, the things that I say, they're not really me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just repeating what Andy said, or I'm repeating what Brian told me. Like, like at this point, it's no longer Shawn speaking. Like Shawn, when you guys ask like what's Shawn and Taylor doing, what's Marnie doing, like I don't know. I'm just repeating what they tell me to do, and then I do it. But yeah, just getting out there, and then the team. It's just seeing a lot of people who have a lot of potential in them, and they're fighting like hell, but they don't know which direction, and I feel for them. So I just want them to win as much as I want to win.
The things that, like, some of the things like where you say you're like out there fighting like hell, I agree. And the things you do, some of the things that I've seen you do recently, and can you talk a little bit more about these, is like, you've rented out space to do dial sessions with your team. You rented out space to do recruiting sessions with your team, in group settings. You've done boot camps with your guys on the weekends to really just to help them get going. Not only just the aspects of doing those things, but the leadership of you not waiting for me to come down there and do that, or doing those, and you're like, I need to do it now, and you consistently continue to do those things, because over time, the more consistently you do those things, the bigger the growth is. Someone was telling me, Stephen Davies got me to watch this F1 show when we're flying back from Ireland. And one of the things the racers do when they race cars is they're trained not to look at the wall, because they'll hit it. So they're trained not to look at that part, and they're trained to go forward. So it's kind of one of those things to stay away from, but you're consistently in the aspects that doing these things, and then we communicate, and I'm like, don't look at that because that's the wall, but talk about how why'd you grab the leadership? Why did you just take leadership and say, I'm going to start doing these, and then kind of talk about the things and what it's doing with your team, with you doing that consistent, getting together, building that, that team environment inside of your team as well.
Yes, sir. I just kind of looked at it as like, you told me a lot of stories about how you started doing your own hotspots and just renting out spaces. And I said, all right, cool. I'm wondering when somebody else will do that. And I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, well, it's not happening. So it's like, if it's not happening, I guess I should do it. I'm not the person to kind of wait around and just wait for somebody else to do it. Like, I might as well do it. I have the resources, I have the time, the effort, the energy to do it. And again, I'm just following what you've done in the past, and that's worked. We did a boot camp a few Saturdays ago. We had like 20 people in the room, which was nuts. Like the space was for 20 people. I was like, thank goodness, like like God's looking out for me or something, because we had just enough chairs. So yeah, it's just kind of that team building. It's caring for one another, to the point of just like getting into their lives and understanding what makes them tick. A lot of Jeff Bright training, just how to talk to the different personalities. I know you're really big into that. I'm huge into that too. So yeah, and it's the people with the negative attitudes, we don't shun them, or we don't cast them out. They kind of just weed themselves out, and we just always look forward. And if they ask a question, they're like, oh, this person made me mad. It's like, yeah, well, your mom made you mad. She's still your mama, right? Like, yeah, your team's gonna make you mad. They're still your team. So you just got to keep pushing. It really doesn't affect you at all. Whether you make money, they make money. It's just keep supporting each other. So that's what I tell my guys, and yeah, just kind of making them believe that they're like you do to me. You make me believe that I'm greater than I really am, and I am. Really, I think so, and I think they are too. But you really make me feel special, right? So I'm just trying to pass that down to them.
So it's like the things that you guys are doing, and I don't even know if you know it, but it's like in the aspects of, have you ever heard of the 80-20 rule? Like 20% of your efforts are going to lead to 80% of your results, and the stuff, and the things that you guys are doing by getting together to dial, getting together to recruit, getting together to coach agents and help new agents get going, doing those things. Those are the 20% things that really lead to 80% of the volume that you're going to create, because you're doing the little things, the little important things to help people get them going. And it's one thing I think people get tricked in this business all the time, because you can make such a great income by just going out there and selling. You can do it, but we make money one way, and it's sell, recruit, and build. And doing all aspects of those one thing is doing that aspects, and you're giving your team an environment to do that stuff. In the aspects to, you're giving them a team to go out there and make sales. You're giving them an environment to where you can help them recruit when you guys do your recruiting dial days. And you're doing a building aspects by where you're doing the boot camps and the aspects of helping them get better at the act, but also the environment where they could bring people in to get better at what they're doing in the building aspect. So that 20% of consistently continue to do the things that you're doing is going to keep your team growing at unbelievable levels. And I'm super proud of what you and Taylor are doing, and how you guys have taken the leadership role of doing that stuff. Because I do think a lot of times people make mistakes when they want to build a team, they want to take leadership, but they just wait for their leader to do everything. And it's a blessing when you have someone like you that says, hey, I want to do this. You know what I mean? And can you talk about, because we talk a lot, and the things that it's like, you're going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. You're going to make if you don't take the leadership role and you don't ever do it too, guess what you're going to do? You're going to make mistakes. So either way, you're going to make mistakes. So you might as well take, it's kind of that aspect that, if you want to be great or you want to be average, if you choose not to be great, you're choosing to be average. So it's kind of like, I can take a leadership role and kind of lead my guys, or I can not. Either way, I'm going to make mistakes. It's the aspects of doing those things. Can you talk about a little bit of the things that you've experienced and the growth that you and Taylor have had, why you've taken these leadership roles, and really what you're trying as you've gone through the process of this?
Yeah. Like failures and successes, both of those.
Well, yeah. I even think like the failures that you've had have, just, I wouldn't even say they're failures. They're just learning lessons. You know what I mean? You've gotten better from them and be like, well, I'm not doing that again. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. Where to start with the life lessons that I've learned, right? So we did a lot of things in the beginning without consulting our leaders, right? And let me just clarify this. We say uplines a lot, but sometimes your upline isn't the person that's teaching you, right? Like mine are. I'm lucky enough that they are, but sometimes you have other people teaching you. So the leaders that I'm working with, I would do things and I wouldn't ask you. And then I'd come back and be like, yo, I just spent like $40,000 on on leads, didn't call a single one. You're like, why'd you do that? Don't do that again.
Yeah.
So you just like or buying things that I shouldn't be doing. Like a lot of stuff dealt with ego, right? I was doing a lot of I'm trying to figure out a specific time. That was just like really bad. Like there's a ton. Yeah, like I don't know. We bought like $1,500 in leads, right? And then we called them once, and then we bought another $1,500 of leads. Like that's so crazy. Like you shouldn't do that.
You created the greatest A1s of all time. That's what
I did. Yeah, no, they were fantastic A1s. Whoever got those, you're welcome. You know what I mean? You got them for $8 after me. So yeah, that was one of the faults. Not getting an assistant in time, not getting those things that are put in front of me to de-stress me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the stuff while you're moving, we're still learning and doing things, and it's just cool to be in battle with you and Taylor, and just having the right to work with you. You guys are, it's an honor, and sometimes people in the business will get someone like you and Taylor that want to step up and take leadership, and they won't let them, and they never grow to their full potential. And it actually, if you try to hold a leader down, it just frustrates them. So in the aspects of what you guys are doing, and guess what? I know you're going to make mistakes, and we talk a lot about like, hey, watch out for this, change this. You may not want to do it this way because you're leading, and it's an adjustment. But it's cool. It's just an honor to have someone step up like you and Taylor and really just want to lead and want to get better. It's a blessing in the business. It's so fun to work with through those ups and downs. And the cool thing is that, you're in an up right now, and guess what? There may be some downtimes, or you guys probably even feel like you're down even when you're up sometimes. But I believe in God, so kind of my feelings of what I believe in. It's the same God that puts you on top of the mountain is the same God that puts you through the valleys. So when you're in a valley, it's kind of like that learning time to really. He's training you for that peak. He's training you to get up on top of that mountain. He's training you for that ability to get up there and do those things. So just super, super proud to be in business with you guys and watch you. I know Jason and Olga, and I know Marnie and Sabrina are super proud too, just by the things that you guys doing and the growth that you guys are continuing to do, Shawn. So thanks so much for sharing, man, what you guys got going on. It's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who helped us.
No, thank you. So cool. All right. So that's Shawn and Taylor. So if you're like, who's this Shawn Mayo guy that's going up the leaderboards, and I'm mad at him because he's passing people and doing things, that was him. So, but yeah, guys, it's grabbing leadership. If it's something you want to do and lead, is important to do because it's so much growth in it. And just the aspects of doing things. It's little things like that to go out there and just grab and do a meeting and take leadership. And I was talking with some people in Orlando the other day, and they were talking about doing their leadership. And Andy was in Orlando, and I know in Fort Myers he had like 50 some people, and they had a packed house in Orlando with people standing like peeking in the door, and the room was getting hot and all those kind of things. And I heard Charleston was packed out. So guess what? That's great and it's awesome. But there's also been times where I've showed up at hotel rooms to do a meeting and one person's there, or this is there. Andy's developed things to where he has that, but you're going to go through those things. And it's fun because that's the valleys that's leading you to that mountaintop, the things that are really helping you to get to where you need to go and do things. And it's funny because when Shawn said he had 20 people in the room that holds 20, I was like, I used to try to get 40 people in a room that hold 20 just to make sure. So, but cool stuff. So, all right. My next guest, so you guys don't have to listen to me for the next 40 minutes, is my good buddy Brian Roas down there in Tampa. What's up, Brian?
Hey man, how are you, Andy?
You got your View from the Edge shirt on and everything. Same thing, Brian. I was looking over your numbers, and I know you got you're doing a lot of great things in the aspects of investing, helping your guys, really trying to lead your team to another level and creating like a winning environment to do so. Can you talk about some of those things that you're really focusing on, like that 20% stuff that you're working on to get the 80% of the results you're doing, and taking that consistent action to create that in winning environment inside your team?
100%, man. First off, just thank you, Andy Riddle, for allowing us on this call, hanging out with some great ones with Shawn and Terry Edwards. Love you guys, man. And Andy and Jane Albright. But like, I remember when I first came into business, we didn't have that relationship that we have now, Andy. And I remember you going to Tim Gold for coaching and whatnot, and leadership coaching. But right after, you would get on the phones. Like you would race everybody to your car and leave everybody to do some interviews, some calls, you know what I'm saying? And you just wouldn't stop. You wouldn't talk to anybody else, but you would have Big Mike and some other guy and myself in like an Airbnb that you would rent out. And I literally, like, you didn't speak much, but I watched a lot. I saw you doing the calls. And I would ask you, what do you say here? I would record you, bro. And I literally saw you going from making like $46,000 a month to over $80,000 a month. You know, you set a goal out, and I actually saw you complete that goal. Like, I saw the whole process through my eyes. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy to me to see somebody that actually reached a goal that he set out and get. That, for me, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Going from 46, you're already making $46,000 a month, and then you're wanting to double. And now, you know, this year you set out a goal for $2 million a month. When we first talked about it, I was like, what's going on? I thought you were talking about $2 million a year. And remember that call? I called you and I'm like, dude, I think that's kind of low, like $2 million a year. And then you corrected me. You were like, no, bro, it's $2 million a month. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, shoot. That's a BHAG right there. So it's just fun. It's just fun. The way I see you bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying? The way I see you cast out a vision, a big, hairy, audacious goal, bro. And the way I see Terry Edwards and Shawn Mayo stepping up, I got FOMO. I don't want to be that guy not stepping up. And it's crazy because I've been working my butt off, but I'm not seeing results the past 3 to 6 months. And it's time to step up for me, because I know the way you lead is by giving me an opportunity, an example. So that's the way I need to be leading. You know what I mean? So like a couple things that we've been doing is like casting out that same vision that you casted out to us, you know, talking to our guys about like, hey, we got this goal. What part of this goal do you want to be part of? And just throwing that out there, and then allowing them to make a decision. It's going back, Andy, to what you love to talk about having standards. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're not perfect. I'm making every single day I call you, there's a mistake being made, but I know it's a mistake failing forward. And it's a mistake that's making me better with every single conversation we're having. And so it's learning how to have, like, teaching our guys to have standards, you know what I mean? To take ownership. And part of that is like investing in themselves, getting their tickets. How about this? You need, like, this business, you're going to need leads, like investing in your leads too. No, not waiting to the dial day to do that, but like properly preparing, and just having a standard of just inviting people. You know what I'm saying? And I love seeing our guys do that. You know, what we're trying to learn right now is how to do it faster. You know what I mean? And just having that standard, that the same standard that you have, how do we copy that? One of the things also that we've been doing with our guys is slowing down. So like, we're always in a rush, right? We're always in a rush. Mondays is dial days for us. And we're just dialing. And then Tuesday comes, we have to run appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday back to dialing. Where do you stop? Where do you actually give coaching? So one of the things that you've been coaching us on is this thing called hot seats, right? And it's a place where whoever actually in our group wants coaching steps up and puts their name on a board. And after 1, 2 o'clock, we give those coachings. And these are like more like situational coaching. It's like you had me watch that Tom Brady film, and his coach would do this type of coaching called situational coaching. And it's like, Brian, what do you say when they say this? And we teach them that, and we have them repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until they can't get it wrong anymore. You know what I'm saying? Working with their facial expressions, working with their tone, with their pace, knowing where to slow down, you know, knowing where to make just stuff like that, man. I don't know. Am I talking too much?
No, you're not.
So just trying to like slow down, and you know, people only retain 10% of what you talk about. And my biggest fear is like listening to, like, if I'm only listening to about 10% that you're talking about, imagine how much conversation am I missing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like also repeating what you're saying, also checking back in with you, making the mistakes and correcting, course correcting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that coaching and repeating and having them repeat it and them say it and them do it is huge, because it's such an aspect of, it's like I could, if we're going to go play basketball and you've never played before, I could tell you, like, this is a ball, there's a hoop up there, you throw the ball in the hoop,
right?
But and then I just keep telling you how to do it, tell you how to do it, but never show you how to do it or never even get you to do it, you're not going to be able to do it. You know, right. So it's the aspects of telling them, showing them, getting them to do it, and getting them to do it a lot. In the aspects and the things that you guys are doing with the ability of those hot seats and sitting down with them and telling them, showing them, and then having them repeat it and do it until they can't get it wrong is a huge part of why your growth is going through there. And you're working a lot with the 20% that want it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The worst part about coaching is when you try to coach someone that doesn't want it, because it frustrates you and them. You know, it's just
oh yeah. And that's another thing too. I think last week was such like we're so blessed. You're here like in Florida, and you come down so much, bro. Like honestly, I think sometimes even I take it for granted. You know what I mean? The fact that you come down here every 2 weeks consistently and just pour into us, staying in at a night out till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. And you just don't get tired. I'm like, dude, is this man not tired? Like, you know, like nobody needs to know this, but I'll say it out in public. Last week, you were sick as a dog, bro, but you acted like you weren't. Nobody knew in that room. Nobody knew. And you were in the night out till like 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't believe it. And it's like, okay, that's what I want to, dude, I'm getting chills about it. That's who I want to be. That's what I want to be. You know, like, I hope I could be half as good as you are with that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I admire that, bro. And it's that the relationship that allows me to like want to grow. I want to grow, bro. You know, I don't want to stay behind. I'm tired of being that number 8, number 9 spot. And I'm coming, bro. Like, we were just talking about it. Like, I know Jason and Ogle have an amazing group, Terry Edwards. I want to be that number 1 leg for you. You know what I mean? I want to step the hell up. I love you, Terry. I love you, Shawn. But like, hey, Terry, you taught me this right here. Pack a lunch, bro. Pack a lunch, because Brian's going to give it all he's got. And one of my, hey, let's talk about floss a little bit, because ain't nobody perfect. Like, a lot of you correcting who are like helping me figure out my leadership is like, Brian, not everybody can take this aggressiveness. You got to learn how to lead others. And not everybody, not everybody's receptive to like this aggression. You got to learn how to read personalities. You got to learn how to slow down, bro. And it's like, I would have to pay hundreds of thousands for me to hear that from somebody else. You know what I mean? It's a lot of, we want to create a competition, a winning mindset in our office. And it's like, I love it when Austin steps up and starts talking smack to Johnny. You know what I'm saying? I love it when Michelle and Lewis get into it with the Dallas sessions. You know, they're neck to neck. It's like stepping up and showing, like, it's just that rising tide mentality, right? It raises all the ships. And so, like, I just want to be better. I want to be that number one. I want to show you through my results that, bro, I'm listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's with the stuff you're talking about and the way that you're leading and making changes is just huge, because that's where the next tier comes, you know, as you continue to grow and you're trying to get your guys on your team to the tier you're at, and you're walking them through it. So kind of like with our relationship, it's hot seats like every day, you know, we talk about things and we do the course correcting and make changes. Kind of what I was talking about, Shawn, you're going to screw stuff up, you know, but you're taking leadership and you're leading a team of men and women to go to another level. And I'm just super proud of the way you do that and the way you're doing it. And you screw up all the time, just like I do. I guess I screw up all the time too. I when I talk to Andy, I'm like, how did I screw up this time? You know, because I'm looking how to get better, because and where you say, like, you take it, you feel like how often I come down there, you take advantage, like with Andy. I mean, Andy's just so, we're not equals. You know what I mean? Like, he makes me feel like an equal a lot of the time because he's just so good at building relationships. But he has achieved so much more. You know what I mean? It's sometimes I've stepped back. I was like, because he just is so gifted and so with that ability to come to my level and talk to me and help me get to my next level, because he comes down to that level. And sometimes he does it so often, I almost think we're at the same level, which is not the case. You know what I mean? It's like, dude's got 2 jets. Okay. I don't, you know, it's like, you know, he's got multiple beautiful homes. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember once he said to me, this was years back, he said to me, this is before they redid the house in Burlington. And he's like, heck, your house is nicer than the house me and Jane live in. And I'm like, he's like, you have nicer house than me and Jane live in. I was like, dude, you have nicer houses than the house you and Jane live in. It's like, I was like, you got like 4 and 1 is nicer than that one. Now that house is gorgeous now and they've redone it and everything, but it's like, just sometimes he makes you feel that way because he comes to your level, and it's like knowing, and it's that leadership that he gives to come to your level, and that's how he gets the leaders, the levels to me to go to another level, gets me to feel that belief, gets me to feel where he's at, and he comes down and remembers when he was at the spots that I'm at the business, what he had to do to get there, and shows me how that path is, you know, and it's the same steps that you're taking with your guys. You know what I mean? They're new in the business, in the aspects of, heck, we had a conversation last night with getting someone contracted. It was just simply, you got to get to where they're at that day, you know. And it's just fun, dude, just watching people grow, watching people step up in leadership, take over, take in things, and just making mistakes together and going to battle, you know, and being acceptance of that, you know, in the steps that you do and do stuff. I'm super proud of what you and Crystalline are doing and the aspects of what you guys got going on. Can you talk a little bit more kind of what you guys do in the office there in that environment you're creating? I know you said you dial on Mondays, but how the team gets around and the how in that office space you've created. Because here's the thing, it's like a lot of times, like Shawn doesn't have a physical office yet, but he invests in spots to get his team together. You've invested in a office for you and Michelle to work out of, but really it's not for you guys to really work out of. I mean, you guys could work out of anywhere. I mean, you're in a car working today. But the environment what that office space has really done for you and your team, to an environment to come around. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So yeah, like earlier this year, we invested in an office in Tampa. We've been grateful, you know, for the opportunity that, like, Andy opened up his Treasure Island office, and we just wanted to make it to where, like, a lot of the guys that we're leading are single parents. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult on that and those aspects, but we still want them being around. We understand something in this business, like Michelle Colin and I, is that this business is more caught than it is taught. So we're looking to take the excuses away, and we're looking to help those guys. But what we're doing is having them get around the heat. And then it's like I remember going to church, and my grandma used to tell me, Brian, church is like a little shark hole. All right. Once one is lit up, it's going to light up everybody else. See what I'm saying? But you create the fire. Like, you create the fire. And so, like, the mindset that I have is, like, yo, if I could just be the fire and light everybody up, or Michelle or Lewis, everybody, like, the strength of the wolf is in the pack, and the strength of the pack is in the wolf. You know, you don't know what people are going through day to day. But bro, if you see Lewis winning and booking appointments 3 to 4, that's going to inspire you. You know, and if I'm feeling down, I feed off of that. And so it's like, there's a reel that you and I share a lot, by Joe, Uncle Joe. He's like, well, I only need 3 mother lovers in this world to take over the world. I only need 3, you know, and I'm looking for my 3. I can't find them. Where are they? You know what I'm saying? Let's step up. Show me that you want to be one of the 3. It's kind of like what you have created inside of your organization. Bro, I want to be one of the 3s. I want to be one of the guys that, like, if you need something, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, duplicating that, you know what I'm saying? Showing my guys, yo, let's step up. We're friends. We're cool. We love you. But, bro, let's not forget. Let's take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Let's take care of business. Let's go out there and show that we are Tampa Takeover. You know what I mean? It's just going back to that winning mindset, man. Winning, like, the office needs to be a place where, hey, we're having fun, we're making money, but we're also making a difference. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want to inspire that office to be, bro. It's very simple. Do your job, stack your money, build an empire. You know, and getting across that, especially when people are down, they feel like they're down in their luck. Like, hey, yo, you need to be listening to this, be written to this, bro, get around this. Hey, get your ticket. You know what I mean? It's just literally, and really not a lot of talking, more doing on the leadership part. Like Michelle Colin and I, us stepping up is showing an example, showing an opportunity, bro. And hopefully we inspire them. We inspire them to get their own office, to get their own assistants. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We want them stepping up on that end.
Cool, man. Well, I'm super proud of what you guys got going on down there, and the way you're leading your teams and the things that you're doing. It's fun, man. It's fun just creating that environment and having that competition. I know you and Shawn are battling a lot of competition, and I may be helping stir that pot between the two of you and all that kind of stuff, but that's just fun. You know what I mean? You know, everyone jokes about me and Mike and Noel's little competition that we talk trash back and forth with, but I need Mike and Noel to be massive. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's to do 2 million and we're the only ones to do it is going to be very hard, because there's going to be so many other voices saying it's impossible, it's this. But when you got a running buddy like Mike and Noel, like running with you and doing the same thing, I was like, they don't have those excuses. They're doing it too. So it's like, it makes it easier. You know what I mean? And it's fun to have that kind of camaraderie and work together, and what you guys have in your office there, and how you guys lift each other up during hard times and use that stuff. So I'm super proud of what you guys going. And the way you're investing to create that environment and having a place for that environment for the people to come to is huge.
Yeah, man.
So I think a lot of people make the mistake thinking I can work out of my home, and I'm not saying you can't, but what that office does for your business isn't for you to go work out of. It's that team environment that you're creating, and that stuff you're creating inside of that takes it so much, and giving those single fathers and mothers a place to come work out of, you know, and letting them get away from their space and creating that. So, and that
relationships that you build from that, you know what I'm saying? Like the things you're talking to us about, bro, it's the relationships. You know what I mean? Like, I remember quitting 3 times in 1 year, my first year, bro. And you, like, I came back because of your relationship, because of the relationships, you know what I'm saying? That sticks it through. And relationships is huge in this business, bro. It really is. So
cool, man. Well, super proud of what you guys got going on. I know you're busy running appointments today. I think you said you had 15 of them. So
yeah,
you're running around like crazy, but go out there and get it, man. Super proud of what you got going on. Thank you so much for joining us for a little bit. Guys, just another guy that takes leadership and wants to go battle and change the world for his family, you know, doing the things you want to do. And I got my next buddy, Terry Edwards, but what him and Tia do and the way they lead and the way they care for people, and what they do for their teams, and what they're doing now. Like me and Terry were texting back and forth, like the investment in the growth of the urgency that they've have right now to build this business and go towards things, and really working for it, like an integrity partnership, but more than anything, just changing people's lives. I mean, I've never met somebody like Terry and Tia that really just want to be world changers and help change people's lives and leave it better. You know, a lot of the conversations that I have with Terry and Tia is conversations like me and Terry got me following Deion Sanders, and one of the things Deion does is he talks about, he's like, I want to change these kids' trajectory and future and lives they want to do. And Terry and Tia have the same type heart. Like they really want to change the world and impact people in their lives and really help them do that. And the great thing is Andy and James created this business where we have an environment where we can help on the financial side, but also the leadership side and the stuff that we do in the aspects that they do it. But the heart that those two have to really create that environment and do it is unbelievable to me, because the heart they have, like when I've gone over their goals with them and stuff, and I was like kind of blown away. I was like, man, they're such better people than I am. You know, it's like their heart is so big, and it's cool because it gives them the environment to do so. So I know, Terry, you guys got a lot of cool stuff going on, a lot of great stuff. You guys are recruiting the way you always recruited. I know you've invested in the Zip Recruiter, and I know you also put an investment in with Jason and Olga helping you out with a bunch of other stuff too, really to grow this stuff. But I know ultimately it's your heart and passion just to help more people. That's why you felt like you had to go do this. Can you talk a little bit about similar stuff like I asked Shawn and Brian, just what are you doing in the aspects of creating that environment in your team to really go after a winning environment to create, to take it to another level? I think you're muted.
There we go. Micah, check out 1 or 2. Man, thank you so much for inviting me on the call, Riddle. I love you to life, bro. Andy and Jane, just forever grateful, man. But a lot of times, Riddle, what I figured out when I found the alliance, I was broken. I was a very broken person. I was going through one of the most crazy times in my adult life. Like I had just lost my job. I had 3 kids in elementary school. I had a wife that was 7 months pregnant, and she was 7 months pregnant. And we moved from North Carolina to Georgia, and for a job that didn't pan out. I was going through a lot, right, when I found this place. But I knew that despite what I was going through, that didn't define who I was. I was going through what a lot of people would consider failure and public embarrassment, but I knew what I was going through didn't define who I was as a person and what value I brought to the world. So one of the first things, I fell in love with the opportunity of the Alliance because I saw a safe place where I could rebuild and start over. And I knew that I had something to offer and bring to the table. So one of the first things that I wanted to do was Andy and Jane had already created a space where I saw people winning. Jason and Olga directly recruited me. They were already, Olga was making $9-10 grand a month at that time, so she was winning. But I had to work on me at the same time of building the business. You see, and what I did, Riddle, was a lot of personal development. When Andy was talking about books, if I saw you reading a book, I saw a book and a picture, I'm like, hey, why are you reading that book right there? What you trying to get out of that? And one of the books that really helped me was Extreme Ownership, How Navy SEALs Lead and Win. And in this book, it talks about that, like, leaders must own everything. Not some things, but leaders must own everything in their world, and there is nobody to blame. See, I feel like we live in a time now where a lot of people want a big team and they want to attract winners, but they don't want to win. Like young folks say now, I am him. Like, yeah, I am him. So working on myself, reading these books, trying to get my mind right? And another thing that book talks about is there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. So even though I was brand new to the Alliance, I started judging myself off of what the top income earners were doing. So I didn't see, I saw Fitz and Heather Fitzgerald on stage. I'm like, well, by God, if they can do it, I can do it too. I saw Paul and Tamara Roberts. I'm like, well, shoot, all the stuff that he went through and they winning. So it was trying. Sean Taylor, thank you so much, bro, for what you said earlier today. You said that these people that you look up to are giants and you want to fight to be in the inner circle. We have so many people not even trying to fight to get in the inner circle. Like, it is okay just to be average. Like, we are in a business model where we got leads. The insurance carriers got money. The only thing that you have to bring to the table and I have to bring to the table is work ethic. And nobody can stop you. Like, literally, we can print money. Now, you do have to work, right? But like, get around the workers. Get around the people who have already overcome some stuff so that you can learn how to overcome it. So that's a big part of what I took extreme ownership of my situation. I was 37 years old. I did not like the way that I felt. I didn't like feeling insecure financially or whatever the case of that. And I put my foot in the ground. I said, the tide turns today. Now, it was not an immediate turnaround, right? It took 6 years to dig myself out of a hole. And it was crazy the first time that I met Andy Albright. And this is another thing, Shawn, when we get around leaders, we be prepared to ask questions, baby. So one of the first questions I asked Andy Albright was, I was like, listen, bro, this is where I first get started. I'm like, daggone, man, you got this thing going on. Like, why are you still working? Like, look how he's out in the field serving right now. But why are you still doing it? And he was like, bro, because I'm on a mission. Like, you can't say the same thing. So as we are recruiting brand new people, like, just because I have reached a level of financial freedom, I can't get caught up into just my success. We owe it to them to show it to them. And when we get new people, just like I was on the phone yesterday with Jasmine Martin and Sabathi out in Houston, Texas, like, I got fired up all over again because these are two new souls that we can help take from just living a status quo lifestyle to showing them that abundance is available and within reach. But guess what? I am him to get you there. I am the one that's been assigned to your life to lead you to the next level. And that is an awesome responsibility, but it's also can be a awesome burden. But guess what? We have to go through this stuff. Another thing that I learned very early on was beware. Albright said, Terry, you got to beware of the barrenness of an unexamined life. It don't feel good to get checked, but every now and then you need to get checked. You need somebody to check your thinking, right? So before I make moves, I'll call Riddle. Hey man, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? You know what I'm saying? And he'll give me what he think or whatever. Like, yeah, well, I never really thought about it from that perspective, but I realize and recognize that Riddle is where I want to be. So he already has been through some stuff and seen some stuff. So if I allow and subject myself to coaching and being checked, is that going to help me get what I want faster? Absolutely. And then it was like, yeah, creating that space, man, where people can win. One of the things that I'm talking to my team a whole lot about right now is we used to talk about we're in a war on poverty, but I looked up the definition of poverty, and most of us don't go to sleep not knowing where our next meal is going to come from, right? But what we really are on a war is getting over that mindset of having just enough. You know, our jobs pay us just enough to keep us coming back, right? A lot of us have just enough money to pay our bills, but not enough money to live an excellent lifestyle. So it's like creating that space where, you know what? It's okay for you to dream again. It's okay for you to pursue excellence. There is no honor in not even trying. And it's like creating an office space. This is another thing that I had to get over. When you create that space, how do you respond when people don't appreciate it? When people don't take advantage of it? And what I had to tell myself is this right here. My job is to give people an opportunity and give them an example. If they don't tap in, it's on them. But I am not going to allow their negativity to close me and say, you know what, I'm going to just close my office and work out of my house. No, baby. I came on assignment to change the world. You can't build no big business out of your house. I'm sorry, you just can't. So having a genuine love for people is something that I've always had, you know. And I forgot who said it, but there's a quote that goes, "Service is the rent that we pay for the space that we occupy on earth." Martin Luther King said, "We can all be great because everybody can serve." Serving costs you a little effort, but it don't cost you no money. Serving will cost you some time. But I do believe the greater that you serve, the more of an impact that you can have. So those are some of the principles that me and Tia have decided to live by. And what we're looking for right now, Riddle, I told my team the other night, I said, the breast is out the mouth. We're no longer breastfeeding grown folk. Okay? If you want to change your situation and you're in our opportunity and your situation ain't changing, at the end of the day, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. So I'm like Rojas, I'm on a hunt right now for somebody who can believe that they are him, that she is the girl. I'm looking to partner with that next person who's going to come in and say, you know what? We're about to change the face of financial services. We're about to change the way they do. A lot of people want to be seen, Riddle. I want to be felt. When Michael Jordan stepped foot on the court, he wasn't just seen, he was felt. Deion Sanders, when he showed up to Colorado, yeah, everybody's seen him, but the results have been felt already. Sold out season ticket, spring game sold out. You know what's up? People complaining. 71 people done jumped in the transfer portal. From a 1-11 team, how many do you want to keep? Last thing, I'll leave you with this right here. I was riding down the street in Kernersville yesterday, and there was this bank that was in town, and they merged with another bank, so they had a spare office, a building. And they started tearing the building down. And I was like, man, that's a perfectly good building. But guess what? Even though the building was in good shape, it was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't suitable for what the new owners were looking for. That's just like life. There is nothing wrong with where most people are in life. Most people know where their next meal is going to come from. Most people have a good place to sleep. It may not be a mansion, but they ain't getting wet at night. But is where you are suitable for where you want to go? And if it's not, it's okay to tear down vain imaginations of what you believed about yourself in the past and rebuild your future. And that's what the Alliance has been for me. I tore down, with the help of your leadership and the leadership of the leaders, I tore down a lot of vain imaginations and just started recreating my life, man. And now I'm really getting serious about this weight, bro. Hey, I'm down 13 pounds, brother. You wait. I'm getting my energy back. Huh? I'm getting my swagger back. Brian Roas, if you think that you're coming for me, you best pack a lunch, baby, because I'm getting light. I'm floating like a butterfly. I'm stinging like a bee, baby.
Let's go, Terry. I'm here.
I'm super proud of what you and T are doing, Terry. I mean, you guys are out there. You've led your team for pretty much the entire you're one of those guys when you first got here, taking leadership, doing things on your, like, hey, can I do this? Can I do this? You've always been that guy. But the things I've seen you do recently and changing is another level. It's that next level that you're taking you and leading your team to is just cool to watch. And I love watching you and T. I know you guys are working your butts off and going out there and the things that you guys are investing in and continue to grow. I know you guys want it. And it's really cool watching this. And as you continue to grow as a leader and your team continues to grow as you bring up more leaders with you. So with that, guys, I just want to tell you, Andy and Jane have put together an amazing system that someone asked me this in Orlando, Terry. It was kind of cool. It was like, he's like, what made you walk away from that $200,000 a year job that you had? I was like, the shot. Like, this is when I saw what Andy and Jane had put together, I saw this was like my first shot to really get rich, my first shot to really change things and really have the ability to do so. And the system he's put together to do so. And Andy's gone out there, guys, and you got to understand, he's fought battles to create this for us. And he's still fighting battles to create things for us. We owe it to them for creating this amazing opportunity where we can go change our lives and legacy lives of our families to where we need to step up and be leaders and be better leaders and move forward. So I challenge the Leventovich team. I challenge the Davies team. I challenge the Fitz team. I challenge the Manley team. I've challenged Marcus Richardson's team, the Avian team, all the teams out there that I love. I challenge the guys on those teams to step up and say, I'm going to help with takeover leadership. I'm going to be the next guy that wants to help take it to another level on each team. We got our guys in the Riddle Nation here stepping up. We got the 3 I had today, but I got a bunch more that are stepping up, taking more leadership. But I challenge those teams, and really not those people, the teams on those that they're. Which one of you guys was going to take the next level to say, I'm going to take some of this leadership. I want to be the next guy. I want to be in that circle. I want to be the guy that helps lead and fight back for Andy and Jane, what they've created, and really show them and Andy's always said, I always say to Andy, I was like, how can I thank you for what you've done? He said, grow. His answer is always grow. Take advantage of what we've created, what he's created, the system he's created, the things that they have in place with the Zip Recruiter and the things to make it easier for you to go out there and do, the lead systems and every aspect of. I mean, I could go on for hours of all the things that he's put in place to make it easier for you to do. I challenge the leaders of those teams, the people to step up, take leadership, go out there and grow and help give back to what he's created for us to do and help people win and help people take from their dreams, take their dreams that they have and help them become reality. Because that's what Andy and Jane have done for so many of us. And I appreciate what they've done and the system we have. And the 3 guys I had on here today, thank you for taking time out of your day to pour into this Alliance Nation. And I really appreciate that you guys are in the team in the battle with us and the things that you guys do. All right, Alliance, hope this helped. Get out there. I know Andy's, like I said, he's got 2 cities, Little Rock and Indianapolis today, and Columbus, Georgia tomorrow. If you got anyone in those areas or you're even anywhere near it, I highly recommend getting around him. He was on fire in Orlando when I was there, and I heard the other cities were just great as well. So, all right, guys, have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.